Hey everybody, this is Josh with Late Start Piano. Today's video will be going over inversions for chords, what they are and how to use them. So, inversion is if you take your root position chord, so let's say we take C major, we have C on the bottom, E in the middle, G up at the top, that's your C major. If we invert this, or we change the positioning of these three notes, we now have an inversion. So instead of C, E, G, let's say we take the C down here, put it up top, and then we do the E at the bottom, G in the middle. So instead of C, E, G, we now have E, G, and C. This would be a first inversion. It's called a first inversion because whenever we're naming notes, the lower note is voice 1, this is voice 2, and up here is voice 3, or excuse me, the bottom is voice 3, middle is voice 2, the higher you go up, that is voice 1, okay? So here we have the root position, up here we have that first inversion because the name of the chord, the C, in this case is up at the very top, so that's in voice 1, so that's your first inversion. You can also change this position one more time. We can have the G on the bottom, C in the middle, and the E at the top. This would be C major in second inversion because G is in voice 3, C is in voice 2, E is in voice 1. So we started from here. This is just called root position C major. We had the first inversion C major and second inversion C major. So because triads, like a C major like that, only has 3 notes, we can have 3 different variations of that. If we had like a 7th chord, since we have this extra note, we can have 4 voicings of it, but we'll just stick with the triads for now. So that's one example. We can also take something like G major, so G, B, D in root position. We go ahead and invert that to first inversion. We now have B at the bottom, D in the middle, G up at the top. And then we can also have the D in the middle, E at the bottom, G in the middle, B at the top, which is a G major second inversion. Then we can go right back to the root. So one kind of exercise you can do here really is just practice your inversions, going all the way up. Practice them going down. And you can do that if you really want to go hard with this. You can do that in all 12 keys, so all the notes, C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. And then you can also do F sharp, G sharp, B flat, C sharp, and D sharp, all those different voicings for every single different chord in all 12 major scales. You can just kind of go down the piano and go all the way up. Practicing your inversions. You can do the same thing with the left hand. Going all the way up and go all the way down. But those are inversions, just taking a chord, getting it rearranged into a different position. You can also hear it has a different sound to it. It's got a different kind of flavor as well. So root position, first inversion, second inversion, root. And just one more note here, you can also just change the bass note. Something like this. This is technically an inversion on the chord. Just changing that bass note. The bass has a lot of weight to it. So even if you keep this C root position C major in the right hand, but you change the bass note, this is still technically an inversion. This would be the first inversion because the E is on the bottom. This is second because the G is at the bottom. You can definitely hear how that kind of changes the coloring of the chord as well. So root position, first inversion, second inversion. So you can kind of play around with that and all those different chords, see what you can come up with. Again, my name is Josh with Late Start Piano.